For those that are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications to be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over and Resident Evil 2 Remake has now been revealed. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Resident Evil 2 Remake Trailer Breakdown Edition, where today we're going to be breaking down and reviewing the latest Resident Evil 2 Remake trailer as we go more in depth as to what's to be expected in this upcoming game come January 2019. So I highly encourage you guys to watch through the entire video and let me know your thoughts down below as to how essentially you guys feel about this product, as we kick off the trailer with Leon S. Kennedy basically talking about how it's pretty much remarkable that he's starting his first day on the force with events having to follow such as this, which of course, if you haven't caught up or know about the situation, basically the T-virus has infected the people of Raccoon City in creating a massive disaster and spawning zombies and all types of creatures, as we get to see how Leon is walking inside of the RPD station, which is the Raccoon Police Department station, which is very synonymous with the original. So as we carry on in this trailer, we begin to see someone driving. Now, I'm only assuming that this is Leon in the beginning basically getting to Raccoon City, as we see little shots and little snippets of obviously what seems to look like a door, maybe assumingly enough in the gun shop where Leon gets to in the beginning of the game, which I'm not going to confirm or deny right now, but this game has such a dark tone to it that it really does bring me back to the original, and the original Resident Evil 2 game scared the wits out of me when I was a kid, which is why I love it so much. Now, as we carry on in this trailer, we see people pointing, which there is a gentleman on the floor pointing, assumingly maybe inside of the Raccoon City Police Department station, maybe pointing at, you know, some sort of a doorway. Perhaps maybe he's still alive somehow, but again, we don't really know too much. However, I'm fairly certain that universally we can all come to agreement in saying that this trailer gives off a very spooky vibe. So I don't think that this man is just simply pointing just for aesthetic purposes, or maybe just the fact that he died like that. I'm fairly certain that he's alive and he's probably giving you some clues. Now, as we carry on in this trailer, I really love how the atmosphere just feels so dark. Now, it says here North Raccoon City, and you get to see little shots of Umbrella, the city streets, and zombies out in the distance, which Raccoon City was always based on zombies. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 was always, you know, basically involving itself around zombies. The T-virus spawning mutants and tyrants and hunters and all sorts of wacky things. So I really do enjoy how they're bringing back the classic vibe of the zombies as Leon is entering the Raccoon City Police Department station, which I cannot wait to see what they're going to do once, you know, Leon is inside. So we get to see zombies outside, and I really love the detail to these zombies. You get to see how their flesh is basically getting torn off of their own faces. I mean, you get to see teeth and blood, you know, they're rotting. And I really do enjoy Leon's gear because it's a resemblance of his original gear from Resident Evil 2, which I really do enjoy. Now, I'm not sure what this entirely represents. Perhaps maybe we're going to be getting the original tyrant from Resident Evil 2. Hopefully enough they don't mess this up and introduce a tyrant that was never included in RE2. So I do have, you know, high hopes for that. But I also really do enjoy how once we go into the eyeball, we see how Leon begins to open the door, and here we are. This is the inside of the Raccoon City Police Department station, which again, if you pay attention to detail, looks just like the original. And I really love the dark tone to it, because if you guys thought that the Resident Evil 1 remake on the GameCube and of course released on PC was great, then you guys are going to have a great time with this, because this brings me back to the original RE1 remake and RE4 because of the over-the-shoulder camera and whatnot. So as we go further into this trailer, I really do enjoy how Leon's beginning to speak and wondering what's happening, because he doesn't know what's essentially going on in the entire city. So as we cut to black, Capcom presents. Finally, Capcom has listened to the fans and giving the fans what they want, and you have to give credit to Capcom for that. So as we carry on in this trailer, obviously enough, we see the city of Raccoon City is basically destroyed, and I really do love the atmosphere because it's raining outside and you really don't know what to expect. Everything's on fire essentially. Obviously, if you just pay attention to detail, we don't see any zombies yet, but I'm fairly certain that this is only the beginning of the game. As we carry on forward here, we get to see how there's bottles everywhere. This reminds me personally of Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil 3 based on environment destruction, but they really did, you know, jam-pack this down with like heavy detail, because it really does give off that vibe like, wow, this entire city just went to shit based off of what happened with this virus. So Leon is inside of assumingly maybe this pharmacy or maybe this store. We get to see how there's paint jars and spray cans and all sorts of stuff, maybe a hardware store or whatnot. He's pointing out his flashlight, and as we go into this scene here, I'm starting to question on whether or not this is Leon moving throughout the city in his attempts to get to the police department, which I'm fairly certain that perhaps maybe this is exactly what that is Leon having to move throughout Raccoon City and getting to the police department. But either way, it just gives off that spooky vibe, that creepy vibe, that anything could be lurking out in the dark, and I really do appreciate that a lot because this is what Resident Evil built itself on, so I'm really proud to say that I cannot wait for this game. Now, as we carry on forward, there is this poor man, assumingly the sheriff, because obviously you can tell based on the badge it says sheriff. So this sheriff just gets completely mauled by this zombie, as we saw in the trailer. Now, I really do appreciate the aesthetics behind this because in a couple of moments you're about to see what this zombie looks like, and he looks amazing. So having to base the zombies and how they look like, I really do enjoy how they give off that creepy vibe. And this game, I do believe, is going to scare any kid out there who's going to play it because that's what essentially it feels like. It feels like a terrifying game. Now, as this zombie begins to stand up, we get to see how Leon points his gun, and assumingly enough, again, this is perhaps maybe in the hardware store where we saw the guns be located in the beginning of the game. That's what I'm only assuming. This could be anything for that matter, but again, since we saw a sheriff, maybe perhaps this is inside of the Raccoon City Police Department. Now again, this zombie gets up, his mouth is just all over the place, his shirt's torn, and based on the environment around him, I can't really confirm or deny on the location because you can't really see too much. However, once this zombie attacks, you can clearly see that it's going to be a very difficult time in you trying to escape these zombies, but either way, I love the over-the-shoulder camera, how Leon is basically pointing his flashlight, just shooting this thing right in the head. And as we carry on forward in the trailer, I also want to point out some things involving the police department. Now, I think the approach in Leon S. Kennedy and perhaps Claire getting here is going to be a little different. Now, that's not essentially a bad thing, but I want you guys to look around and see how visually this looks downright creepy. And the fact that you're by yourself in the middle of the street, it's raining outside, and your only mission is to get inside to find out what's happening, and the minute you actually get inside of the police department, you find all hell to break loose within the police department as well. So this is inside, and I will say, I'm not entirely sure, I'm fairly certain this is probably on the first floor because we do have a basement level, we have a second floor and a first floor. I'm fairly certain that what we're seeing here is the first level of the police department, which isn't necessarily on the second floor yet, so this is basically, I think, the first floor of Raccoon City. And we see how Leon points his flashlight down on the ground, and there's bodies everywhere. Now, again, this is perhaps due to the liquor, because the liquor was a big thing in this game, especially when the liquor was first introduced. The liquor was basically just tearing apart, you know, a fellow officer as Leon came across it. So perhaps maybe my theory behind this is the liquor having to tear apart all these individuals. So as we carry on in this trailer, once again, this is the spot where I believe a lot of people are going to, you know, think back and reminisce, because this is the same hallway where I do believe the liquor was spotted, but also as Leon is walking, all of a sudden two zombies appear, and I love the way they're moving. I love the overall feel behind this, because imagine you're a person, you're walking through this hallway, you know, just filled with debris and just, you know, caution tape, and all of a sudden you come across these zombies. You're gonna crap your pants. Now, it's a woman and a man, and I really do enjoy how Leon just shot this woman in the throat. I really do love how it's not only headshots that are going to do the trick, but either way, Leon just shoots her right in the neck, and she still pursues him. She goes on ahead to, you know, grab him, and then that's when she goes on ahead to take a large chunk out of him. So I'm fairly certain also that we're going to see herbs appear. I mean, because obviously what's a Resident Evil game without the green herbs and the yellow herbs and the red herbs, but I really do enjoy how she took a bite out of him, and the other zombies basically pushing you back. And I don't think that this is going to be for cinematic purposes. I think that really, once you get bit, it's basically all in from there. You're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to have to shoot them in the head, stab them in the neck, do whatever it is you have to do to get them off of you, because I really do enjoy how they bring you down on the floor and they're trying to, you know, rip your brains out. That really gives off the Resident Evil-esque vibe that we saw in the original. Now, Here we get to see how once Leon is walking through, there are bodies just, you know, falling off of the counters and whatnot, and we see inside. Now inside, this looks amazing. We see women, we see men, we see cops, we see former criminals. Everyone's basically after Leon, and it's not just a few zombies. It's about, I can count about 6. There are 4 on screen. There's one to the left of Leon, and there's one behind one of the women there. As you can see, there's a total of 5 zombies here, plus the one all the way to the left. So you're going to be faced off with lots of zombies, not just 1 or 2, but perhaps maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zombies at once. So good luck to you. Ammo is going to be very scarce. Now, as we transition through this, as you guys can see right here, 5, 6 total. I mean, that I can count of. Perhaps maybe there's more here, but as Leon is moving through, I really love the cinematics and the way, you know, he's able to run. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to include different camera angles for this, but here, I really do enjoy how, obviously, as you guys can tell based on the gate, they're pushing the gate back and the gate's beginning to shake. And there are a lot of zombies here, which I really can appreciate, because in the original game, we heard them, but we never saw them actually push the gate or do anything like this before, which I really do enjoy, especially having to pay attention to details. So as we carry on forward, Leon's basically stumped. He's in the rain, he's looking upon the zombies, and I really do enjoy that. Now here, this is the spot where the helicopter crashed, where you're gonna have to try to put the helicopter out because of it blowing up on one of the rooftops, which I vividly remember because it was a very difficult thing to do at the time. So as you guys can see here, helicopter on the rooftop, you get to see stairs leading up the rooftop, which is essential and vital for the story. Now, again, as we carry on forward even more, we begin to see how one of the surviving officers that never survived in the second game actually speak to you and telling you and giving you orders like, hey, you need to survive, and that's an order. So I'm really curious as to what his role is going to be, if he's going to live, if he's going to die. My prognostication is he's going to die, but hey, that's just me. So as we carry on even forward, look at this. This is just, it really does get down to the nit and gritty, and this guy's face is just completely ripped off. And Leon's reaction is like, whoa, dude, and you're trying to figure out as to what the heck is happening. So as you carry on, you see this person here. I'm not entirely sure as to who this is. Perhaps maybe it's Claire. She's holding up a badge or something. So this is a part of the story, and I really love how there's cutscenes, and the cutscenes look really, really good. So perhaps this is Leon having to come across Claire for the first time. You know, him moving throughout the offices and trying to figure out what's going on. This poor individual having to get torn open from the outside. Perhaps maybe Leon is trying to bring him inside, but he kept getting pulled from the zombies. Either that or the liquor probably has him. Either way, that guy is a goner. And we see how Leon is basically jumping out of windows here, which basically confirms the fact that you can jump out of windows, assumingly enough, hopefully enough, because that'd be pretty cool. Now there we have our first glimpse of the liquor, which I cannot wait to encounter, because the liquor was a difficult thing to fight in the game. So hopefully he's going to be just as difficult for us to encounter. And I love the over-the-shoulder camera angle. Again, it brings me back to Biohazard 4 or Resident Evil 4. Now here, I found that to be very difficult. We see arms or tentacles grab onto this officer. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I cannot wait to see it. So Leon's outside, he's panicking. Now we see this cathedral. We see how the puzzles are back. Obviously, of course, I cannot wait for this. The puzzles are going to be, I think, essentially the same, if not just a tad bit different, so expect to use your brain a lot more in this game than any other RE game. And again, here we have our first glimpse of Claire Redfield. I cannot wait to see what her story is going to be like. Maybe, hopefully, her story is going to be a lot different than Leon's. As we carry on forward, Leon's running through, assumingly, you know, like somewhere down the basement. We have the girl from the second game. I keep forgetting her name. I think her name was Shelly, or I think somewhere along those lines. I haven't played the game in so long, but there she is, the girl from the second game, and I cannot wait to see what her story is going to be like once she encounters Claire. We see more of the other officers. Ada Wong, I'm assuming here is Ada Wong. Now there's the liquor right there. The liquor looks intense. Leon's holding a shotgun. That liquor looks like he's going to be a problem, and I cannot wait to see how the liquor fights you in this game, because I'm hoping that it's basically the same challenge that you had in the second game as you come across this. So as we exit the game, it says Resident Evil 2, and for that, I cannot wait for the game itself, because the game is supposed to be dropping January 25th, 2019. And there's so much more to this game that I feel like that they're not letting off right now. But in the end, I want to know down in the comment section below as to how you guys feel about this, because to me, I think that this game is the closest that we're ever going to get to a original RE game. They finally listened to the fans, and if you're anybody out there who's going to get mad at this, then you're absolutely insane, because this game is giving you, the horror fan, exactly what you wanted. And that's the element of horror inside of a Resident Evil game. Now, a lot of people are going to make distinctions and talking about, look, this is what RE7 should have been. This is what Resident Evil 7 should have been like, you know, over-the-shoulder kind of camera style, you know, giving a different perspective on, you know, people and the T-virus and all that good jazz. But again, keep in mind, this is way before Resident Evil 7, so this was a time when Resident Evil was at its peak, when it was actually good. So in the end, guys, let me know how you feel about this game. If you guys are excited, if you guys are disappointed, let me know down below, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed and cannot wait for this game, slap a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on all notifications. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.